Well, good morning, everybody. We welcome you inside Enterprise Center. Chris Kerber, Darren Pang for today's Blues Game Day Live. And I've got to tell you, Panger, it has been awesome to be at home for a couple of days. I know the guys on the ice are kind of feeling it, too. A great win in the last game. You mix that with a little home cooking, not having to worry about travel, and I think I like the way this road trip or this homestand could trend.
I agree. I think the boys have gone through a tough journey.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. You get on the road and you're going every other night, or in some cases, Curbs, the players were kind of looking at it like they wish they had more back-to-backs when they were on the road.
That's right.
You know, you're playing a game and you got a couple of days off, and then you play a game, you got a couple of days off. It just seems like an awful long time, and for the most part, you're returning home the next day afterwards because you're losing 2 or 3 hours on your trip. So there's no question it takes a little wear and tear off of you, and the players are. I knew they knew the importance of winning that first game as well. You know, they've played well at home. They've outscored their opposition 22-11 in their last 6 at home. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, they've won 6 straight games on home ice. The longest home winning streak in the season so far has been 7. That actually speaks to the parity in the league when no one's going on really long runs on home ice, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I mean, on any given night, someone's going to come in and beat you with whether it be goaltending or maybe a power play or maybe a penalty kill. You can't take any games for granted. I mean, you even look around the league, and the Ottawa Senators are down. They can beat anybody. The Detroit Red Wings beat the Montreal Canadiens the other night. I mean, there are teams right now that you just never know what you're going to get. The team that was interesting, I mean, I think it was an important win against the San Jose Sharks. You know, they're still a team that you don't know what's going to happen. They're in the same position that the Blues were in last year, a couple of games below 500, thinking they can turn it around. So to beat those teams that think they can turn it around, that have some hope, you got to still take away their will and keep them down at the standings.
You know, I want to stay with the schedule here for just a moment. One of the challenges that the St. Louis Blues have this season is not only the big target on their back because they are the defending champions, but because of having only 9 sets of back-to-back. And 4 of them came in the month of November. And 2 of the remaining 5 are going to come on the road trip coming out of the All-Star break. 2 days off, then another set of back-to-backs. The St. Louis Blues this season, except for the Christmas break and the All-Star break, do not have 3 days off in between games. It doesn't create a whole lot of time for the coach to give the team a day off and have 2 days of practice, or to manage the rest that you try to do while still getting in the practices you need. And that's one of the big challenges that this team is facing this season.
Yeah, so it's going to be quality. I mean, you're sitting there and you've got to look at your dates, and you've got to decide on those dates that this is going to be a practice no matter what happens, and we're going to work on this, and that. Right. And I think Craig Berube and his staff, I think they do a really good job of that. You can just tell by the tone. And it's not just the coaches, it's the players themselves. You can tell the tone that they need. Okay, we need to correct some things. We need to clean some things up. As they did after only getting 1 point on the 3-game road swing and coming back at home against the San Jose Sharks. You knew it at Centene that they were tightening things up and they were saying all the right things, and they came out with that kind of game.
All right, let's talk lineup tonight. We haven't had the official word yet. The team is on the ice below us with an optional skate. Carl Gunnarsson's knocking on the door, just about ready to get back in. Nico Mikkola had his first game as a Blue in the last game and played very solidly in the minutes that he played. And then, of course, Colton Parayko trying to come back from injury. How do you assess the defensive situation for the Blues?
So it's an optional out there.
Right.
Like Joe Vitale?
His options are very different.
I like the way he says it when I'm not here.
Yeah.
He's on assignment.
Right now, his assignment is probably cleaning up melted crayons from his kids who found a candle and some crayons and realized their own science experiment on the brand new carpet.
A very good point right there.
Yeah.
A very good point. As of yesterday when I looked at the pairings, I still saw a little bit of Gunnarsson and Colton Parayko. I mean, you looked at the last game. I thought Bortuzzo and Mikkola, I thought they played real well. I talked to Robert Bortuzzo yesterday about it and how was it working with the player for the first time. He said his communication was really good. His ability to read the play. He never, it was well done, and he didn't just play 4 or 5 minutes.
Right.
I mean, he got up there in the double-digit minutes, so that's a really good night for Nico Mikkola and his parents and everybody who were watching in Finland. Got to be tired the next day, I would have to think.
Yeah, he said it was about an 8-hour difference.
Yeah.
Time difference. They were 8 hours ahead.
Good
so the
him,
St. Louis Blues.
You know how many new guys have played? What a great job the Blues have done, Curbs, in getting their younger players in, even if it's just one game.
4 of them this year.
Just one game. Like even Jake Wallman, you know what it means to come up to the NHL, see what it's all about. Now you go down to the American Hockey League, and you know what you got to improve on.
Well, it's a reward for the work you're putting in down there, too. And that is as important for the psyche of development as anything.
Totally agree with you.
All right, so the Blues just finished a stretch of 12 straight games against Western Conference teams, winning 9 of them. phenomenally during that stretch, and at least in the last 11 games, they've scored 3 or more goals in what, 8 of them. I mean, they've been scoring goals. It's something that ever since Vladimir Tarasenko went out, the total goal production has remained very solid for this team, something that's going to continue to be important. And a lot of the reason is they've had a really good power play to make a difference and take the pressure off of 5-on-5.
Well, there's been a lot of consistency with the power play, and you see that with Mark Savard that was brought in to join the coaching staff. For every game, I mean, Mark encourages the players, change something, whether it's Braden Shen on one side and David Perron. Even if you enter the zone and change it up, every team now, I mean, they're looking at your power play and they're breaking it down and they're dissecting it on the penalty kill side of things. So you've got to change something. So I think they give the opposition a bit of a fresh tweak every now and then, and I think that changes it up from the defending point of view. So I like that part of it. I like the fact that everyone's involved. It's not a one-trick pony.
Right.
It doesn't go through one guy. It goes through 5 guys, and I think right now more than ever it goes through one guy at the point, and that'd be Alex Pietrangelo, who I think he's playing with as much freedom in his hands and as much creativity that we've seen him allowed to go, allowed to roam.
Right.
He's been given the green light. I mean, before it was always D-zone face-offs, D-zone matchups, going up against the other team's best players. Now it's, for Alex Pietrangelo, this is fun time of hockey. Now it's O-zone.
He's playing like a champion.
He's playing like a champion.
He's playing like a champion.
And they're giving him every opportunity to play like a champion on the offensive side of it as well as the defensive side of it.
So the game time tonight, 7 o'clock. You can catch Darren and the TV guys going with their pregame show at 6:30. On the radio side, we've got the Mitsubishi Electric pregame show that starts at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
And then the pregame skate brought to you by BMW of West St. Louis right at 6:30 when a team hits the ice. I was just handed an urgent message from Elise Butler. We now know and we have located Joe Vitale.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Apparently, as much as he tried to resist the Star Wars phenomenon that's been going on for 40-plus years, okay?
It's been that long.
Right. He took his kids to
That's
see the
older than
most
Joe.
recent Star Wars movie, and now they're so into Star Wars. I was just told that Joe Vitale is spending all day in a local design studio getting the makeup done. He will be showing up at the game completely in full dress as Darth Maul. I can't believe the note I was just handed, but I'm so excited for Joe that he finally understands, you know, what it means to be a Star Wars fan, and I'd like to welcome to the...
I thought it was going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He liked to call it the nerddom. I'd like to say welcome to the reality of $1 billion business, but I can't wait to see him totally dressed up as Darth Maul tonight.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be fun.
You have no idea who Darth Maul is, do you?
No. No. What happened to Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Well, actually, it was Darth...
And R2-D2.
It was Darth Maul that ended Obi-Wan Kenobi's mentor, which lifted Obi-Wan Kenobi when it came to the hierarchy of the Jedi Council.
Is there a Rocky 4
Did you
coming
know
up?
this?
Is there a Rocky 6 coming up?
Well, Rocky 4 came out a long time ago, but the U.S. won there too.
But tonight it's
Which
Star
is good,
Wars
and they
theme
beat
night.
the Russians. Tonight is right. Tonight is Star Wars night, so we'll have some fun.
It's going to be fun tonight.
Yeah, you know what? They always give those great T-shirts. Don't forget to check out stlouisblues.com/theme. We're about to show Panger a picture of Darth Maul, and he's going to understand exactly what we were talking about.
I'm going to go vote for David Perron.
I think you should. Yeah, vote for David Perron, too. That voting, by the way, ends tomorrow. So NHL.com/vote. You can vote up to 10 times every day. Make sure you log in and get those votes done. Thank you, bud.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You do it just like that. You can have hair, too. You don't have to be bald to count. Enjoy the game tonight, everybody.